I am running on completely zero sleep. My voice is totally gone and my head is still spinning. Spain are the kings of the world. Lionel Messi is in floods of tears and we have all just lived through the most emotionally exhausting month of football in human history. The dust hasn't even settled on New Jersey and my feed is an absolute mess of the exact same two clips. But if you are only looking at the trophy lift, you are completely missing the raw, beautiful, heartbreaking soul of what just happened. I want to look past the basic headlines and count down the 10 moments that genuinely made us lose our minds, scream at our TVs, and fall in love with this beautiful game all over again. We are going from bottom to top, all the way to the absolute peak. Which moment made you cry or jump off your couch the hardest? Hit the comments right now while it's fresh. Let's kick things off with number 10. Remember the literal opening week? Spain rolling up as an European champions expected to absolutely clear everyone out of their way. And then Cabo Verde happened. A historic DAG 0-0 draw. I remember sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? Spain are going home in the groups. It was the ultimate reality check that proved the new 48 team format was going to be pure chaos from day one. Which leads us beautifully into number 9. An absolute heart stopper in the round of 32. Germany versus Paraguay. 1-1 after a grueling 120 minutes and then the penalty shootout from hell. When Paraguay buried that final spot kick to win, my jaw hit the floor. Seeing a powerhouse like Germany crash out of that early to a relentless South American side was pure tournament magic. But the shocks didn't stop there, because number 8 was pure heartbreak for the Silicao. Round of 16, Brazil versus Norway. Everyone expected the Samba boys to cruise, but Norway played like their lives depended on it, grinding out a shocking 2-1 victory. Watching the Brazilian players collapse onto the pitch in disbelief while the Norwegians went completely ballistic. Man, the raw emotion of that whistle was unbelievable. The old Titans were falling, but the real drama hadn't even started. Then, number 7 on the list genuinely made me choke up. Spain versus Portugal in the round of 16. The clock hits the 91st minute. Mikel Merino rises out of nowhere and thumps a bullet header into the back of the net. But it wasn't even the goal that hit me hardest. It was the camera cutting to Cristiano Ronaldo dropping to his knees, staring blankly at the grass. Seeing one of the absolute greatest to ever live realize in real time that his final World Cup dream was officially dead. It gave me chills. It felt like the heavy, painful end of an entire era. If that moment brought the tears, number 6 was just total unadulterated madness. The bronze final between France and England, 10 goals, a 6-4 scoreline. I was pacing around my living room, sweating, yelling at the screen because it felt like a game of FIFA on arcade mode. Bukayo Saka smashing in a spectacular hat-trick to sink France was easily the most breathless, entertaining 90 minutes of the entire summer. Just non-stop, hard-in-your-mouth football. Which brings us to number 5, the sudden agonizing tragedy of Enzo Fernandez's red card in the 93rd minute of the final. He flies into a reckless challenge, flips Pau Kubarsi into the air, and gets sent straight off. You could literally feel the oxygen leave the stadium. The look of sheer panic on Argentina's faces, it went from we can survive this to total desperation in their heartbeat. Number 4 belongs to Neymar. And I'm not going to lie, actually cried watching this. After Brazil's devastating knockout, the camera tracked Neymar walking to the center circle. He took off his boots, laid them down on the grass, kissed the yellow shirt one last time, and just sobbed uncontrollably. No big press conference, no warning. Just a legend silently telling the world his international journey was over. It was absolutely devastating. If that broke your heart, number 3 was the most electric, spine-tingling underdog story of the entire century. Cabo Verde versus Argentina in the group stage. Nobody gave Cabo Verde a prayer, but in the 88th minute they score a wild 40-yard Verde to tie it 2-2. The stadium shook so violently, I thought the roof was coming down. The sheer unbridled joy on the faces of those players going toe-to-toe with the world champions. Even when Messi dragged Argentina through at the end, the entire stadium stood up and applauded Cabo Verde. But the wall finally cracked at number 2, the 106th minute of extra time. Pedro Porro whips it in, Nico Williams heads it down, and Ferran Torres laces it home. Pure unfiltered SKC for Spain. Absolute crushing heartbreak for Argentina. I was literally shaking when it hit the net. Which brings us to the biggest, most emotionally overwhelming moment of all. Number 1. The final whistle blows, the camera cuts straight to 39-year-old Lionel Messi in the floods of tears on the turf, realizing his last dance ended in agony. But as the camera pans up, Spain lifts the trophy into the night sky, creating absolute history by becoming the first nation ever to simultaneously hold the World Cup crowns in both men's and women's football. The ultimate contrast of human emotion. A legacy cemented forever, while a god of the game watches on in heartbreak. This World Cup was an absolute masterpiece of human emotion, mates. Now I need to hear from you. Which of these 10 was your absolute favorite moment? Did we miss any moments that gave you absolute goosebumps? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Tell me who we missed. Let's talk ball.